Hi there, my name is Summer. I am ranked as a queen and I'm originally from California. That's where I built my team, where I hit Crown Princess. And then 4 years ago, we picked up and moved to Arizona. So I am currently the Arizona State Leader. I am a certified field leader trainer. And really, I'm just a huge super fan of Senegence and everything about it. I am really excited to get to talk to you guys about social media today. Social media is a huge passion of mine. I've been in the game for about 11 years. I started right when Instagram was brand new, where we threw filters on everything and then you made them sepia tone and added a film border and all the things that are so cringy now. I was part of that, groundbreaking addition to social media. And really my passion is helping people understand the long game with social media. Here's the great thing about Senegence is that you have so many avenues to be able to work your business. You can use Kiss and Tell, you can use CDO, you could do home parties, you could do Facebook parties, you can sell on Instagram. You get to choose how to work this business. And a little bit of a misconception that I think happens with people when they most recently have been signing up is they think that I'm going to share on social media and build a huge business right away or very soon. Maybe they're a little bit more realistic and they're like, I could do this. It might take a couple months, but I can do this. And then they run full force into social media expecting to make money right away. Facebook, I think, is a little bit easier to do that because most people have already built relationships on Facebook and people are more looking to support direct sales on Facebook. I just feel like it's a very different community over there. And then the other cool thing is that you can go tomorrow and host a party with their neighbor or friends or family in their home and make cash money in your hand within a couple of hours. I still utilize that opportunity in my business. Just a couple months ago, I did a series of foundation classes and I easily sold between $500 and $1,000 in a sitting with just a handful of people. So if you're looking to make cash money today, in person is going to be where it's at. If you're limited on what you can do in person or you just really have a big love for social media and you spend a lot of time there, I'm going to help set you up for a win. I can talk all day long about transitions and hashtags and tips and tricks and all these things. But at the end of the day, all of that is on my social media. You guys can go over there and have access to it anytime you want. At the end of the day, what the really important part is that I think so many people miss is the mindset around social media. So I'm going to talk you through 4 phases when it comes to building a business on social media. And I'm hoping that by the end of our time together, you will understand those 4 phases. And when you come up against videos that don't go viral and stories that nobody watches and posts that just don't get any likes or comments, because we have all been there, when you come up against those things that could potentially stunt you and make you want to retract from putting yourself out there on social media, I'm hopeful that if you save this video, can come back to it for a little bit of a pep talk, because I'm going to talk about what your expectation should be. So you're going to move through these 4 phases and you're probably going to do it over and over and over in your business. And I think the biggest mistake that people make is that they go full force into 4 phases all at once. They're trying to work all of these at the same exact time. But what I found is that when I focus on one of these phases at a time, the natural progression to the next one is very easy to see and it's easy to step into. The results are so much better. My feeling of accomplishment and self-worth and that I'm actually know what I'm doing is much higher because I see these things happening. I'm like, that's exactly what should be happening. We're on the right track. Even though it's something that is maybe can be looked at as a setback or a negative, when you look at it and you're like, I expected that to come. I'm okay with that. We're going to keep moving forward. That's what I hope for you today. So let's talk about the very first one. So for a lot of you, this is where you're going to be, and that is the discovery phase. You're really just trying to figure things out. if you're trying to understand the logistics of going live, what buttons to push when you're supposed to be recording a reel, how to find trending audio, if you're still trying to figure out all the logistics of building a business and using Instagram in general, you're going to have a really hard time with growth and clarity and consistency and all those other phases that we're about to talk about. So for those of you who are still trying to understand the functionality of the app, how it works, I just want to give you permission to let go of everything else. Start with discovery. Start with understanding what to do and when, what buttons to push, how everything works. Give yourself freedom to just play around. That's phase one. Once you understand, okay, I understand how to make a live video. I understand like how stories work and stickers and all those things, because let's be honest, it's a lot of stuff and they keep rolling out new features every single week. You're probably going to be in discovery mode many, many times over your time on Instagram in the next year. Once you figure that out, you're going to move into phase number 2, and that is consistency. Consistently showing up in those different ways that you could show up on Instagram, not focusing on growth, not focusing on like huge value and all that stuff, because I think what happens with a lot of people, and you could tell me in the comments if you could identify with this, is that you're just trying to show up, and what you're coming up against is the creativity piece and what do I say and how do I say it and a call to action, a CTA, what the heck is that? And that becomes a barrier for us to even show up. So give me a 1 in the comments if you feel like, yeah, that absolutely does feel like me. I feel like I'm dedicated, I'm inspired, I'm committed, and then I show up to record something and I record it and I'm like, well, what the heck does the caption? What am I supposed to do there? What hashtags am I supposed to use? That is a place that I lived in a lot over the past year, is I would have an idea and I'd be like, I don't know what the caption should be. I need to create a hashtag set. And I would just save it to drafts and then never publish it because I was so focused on that other piece that it prevented me from even showing up. So phase 2 is I just want you to show up consistently. And for you, each of you, consistency is going to look very, very different. For me, because I've been in this for so long, because I've been really, really focused in on Instagram, for me, consistency looks like 2 reels a day and at least 3 story, like we call them sets. It's like 3 to 4 slides and stories. I show up 3 times a day. For me, that's easy. For somebody else, they're like, you might be sweating right now. Like you're like, I'm watching the wrong training if this is what is to be expected. But I want you to give yourself permission again to show up what consistency looks like for you. It could be that you've never shown up consistently. And so 1 time a week to post in your feed and like 3 times a week for stories is a big win. So what consistency actually is not the highest bar you could ever set for yourself. It's actually like, okay, what is the bar that I can set that is a challenge to me, but I know that I know, hi Kate, I know that I can do it. It's going to be hard. It's going to take a little bit more like oomph and like dedication than normal, but I know that I can do this if I just really put my mind to it. That's what consistency for you should look like. It shouldn't be, well, Summer's doing this and she's growing really fast, so that must mean that I have to do that in order to find success. That is not the case. What you're missing when you look at my consistency is that I've been posting for a year about business because that's my personal niche. And I'll talk about niche at seminar. So if you are trying to figure out where you fit in Senegens on social media, attend my training at seminar, because I'm going to talk about like what part of Senegens or what part of Instagram can you show up in that can help you get really focused on your following so that you can serve them more effectively in your Senegens business. Kate's the greatest. Kate and Mary are on my team, and she says Summer Alvarez has coached me for years. Listen to her tips. They work. Kate is consistently a significant Sena seller. She is earning trips. She's doing all the things, and she accepts my tough love and my push. So she knows what she's talking about. Okay, consistency. So can we all agree that we're going to give ourselves permission to show up for our level of consistency, what would be a stretch and a win for us? Give me a 2 in the comments if you're like, okay, I will release the need to be top level performer and I'm going to perform at a level that I can perform at over time. And that overtime piece is what I preach a lot, because that's what everybody, 99%, 99% of people miss. That piece, that consistency actually happens over time. It's not like this week I'm going to show up here. It's I'm going to do this every week over time. So I get a lot of messages that say, I've been posting for 7 days, 14 days, 21 days, and my account's not growing. My views are going down. Well, yeah, because you haven't gotten the time piece. That's what it takes. Okay, so consistency, level 2. Phase number 3 is a really fun one. And again, if you're at seminar, visit my niche class, because clarity on who you can uniquely serve is really, really important. But if you don't know how to even use the app, if you're showing up once or twice a month, you're not even ready for the clarity piece. Please make sure that you master phase 1 and 2 before you move on to discovering this piece. Between now and April, you can absolutely do that, so you can show up to the niche class that I'm going to do, and we're going to talk about who can you serve. What is the unique gift that you have? And here's like spoiler alert. I want you to hear this loud and clear, please. Your unique gift is not anti-aging skincare and long-lasting makeup. I'm going to say it again for the people in the back. Your unique gift is not anti-aging skincare and long-lasting makeup. That happens to be what you offer. It is not who you are, and it is not your unique gift. Your unique gift could be that you can explain how to do a 4-step makeup look, and you can do it 500 different ways. That could be your unique gift, and that is what I would push. Your unique gift could be that you are really good at, I don't want to say creative, I want to say attainable lunch ideas to get yourself fed in the madness of what life is like as a mom, as an entrepreneur, as all the things. And every single day you share a different idea or a different spin on how to feed your soul and feed your body and fuel yourself to be able to do all the things that you do. And here's a great tip. When you feed yourself and then you put yourself together with this quick makeup look, magic can happen and you get to show up as a more fulfilled version of yourself. Do you see how I'm connecting the dots between these smaller value pieces and what your actual financial offer is? I want you to commit to me that you're going to do a little bit of work when it comes to phase 3 and deep dive into what makes you special, because there's something in there that you can do that nobody else can do. And if your answer to this question is, I don't know, then maybe it's not the right one. But I want you to ask yourself, can I be the best at this one thing? Are all of you going to be the best at makeup in general? I mean, it's impossible. There's only one best. So when you show up and all you share is makeup and there's not a specific value piece there, it can be tricky to grow your business, because how in the world are you going to stand out amongst all the other distributors for all of the other products and all the other direct sales businesses out there? How are you going to show up? How are you going to stand out? So figure out what within Senegence, or what is another thing that you can easily tie to Senegence that you could be the best at. For me, when I decided to figure this out, I said, okay, I love social media and I love business. I could do a 24-hour live and not get tired I did a challenge with my team once, and we did a team call, and I was like, all right, here's the challenge. You throw topics at me and I will talk about them for 2 minutes straight without stopping. And I could do it because I love it so much. But I had to figure out, how does that fit into my Senegence business? And from the outside, it kind of doesn't look like it does. I get questions a lot about, are you still a Senegence distributor? Because when somebody doesn't follow my stories and isn't following me consistently, when they show up on my page, I am a entrepreneur. I am sharing business tips and I am coaching and presenting business information. But guess what? My personal ideal customer is someone who has an income so they can afford to buy makeup. Someone who knows that they have to get ready because they're going to show their face on social media to market their product. How many of you would kill for a huge following of people that have money to spend, that have confidence, that understand a smart business model because they have an entrepreneurial spirit, that show up on videos every single day? Is that not an ideal customer for like many of us? But just because it doesn't scream, I'm a Senegence distributor in my feed, sometimes we feel like that's wrong. For some people, it absolutely is right to scream like Senegence, and this is what I offer. If it is really clear and specific on what about that, what is the one value piece that you add? So having clarity around what you can offer to your audience is really important. That really is the one thing that I would say is the biggest key to unlocking phase number 4, which is growth. Once you understand the functionality, once you show up consistently, once you are like shooting value out your ears to your following about all the amazing tips, tricks, hacks, education, coaching groups, accountability, challenges, all the things that you can offer, number 4 just kind of happens. Give me a 3 in the comments if you have been trying to push growth and it's not organically happening for you. Give me a 3 in the comments if you have been trying your darndest, especially on Instagram, to grow and it's just not organically happening. I would guess that if you looked at 1, 2, and 3, you're missing at least 2 of those things. For me, I've grown 16,000 followers net. Like, is that the right one? Gross, net, whatever the one is after you lose people, right? I've gained about 18,000 over 2 months, but it happened organically. I didn't show up and say like, I'm going to grow 500 followers every day today, starting today. It just happened because 1, 2, and 3 were in. Thank you, Kate. Kate knows business. She knows the numbers. Net. I had 1, 2, and 3 in place and I was doing them really well because I had been doing them for a long time. Remember that overtime piece? And then number 4 just happened organically. So I hope that from this training, you can understand that if you're not growing, it's not because you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not pretty enough, you're not a good enough distributor, you're not a good enough makeup artist, you're not these things. It simply is these 3 things that are really outside of you. They have nothing to do with who you are and how successful you can be and what your potential is in this business. They're logistics. If you can get those 3 logistic pieces in line, number 4 just starts to happen. And here's the cool thing. It's not going to happen from one viral video of like a stupid dance that you did or a prank that you pulled or something that didn't serve an audience or tell people who you are or why they should follow you. It's not going to happen from that one thing. It's going to happen from 30 videos that show people why you're such a freaking awesome follow. Why they should be talking about you and sharing your videos and saving and all these things. That is the foundation that builds a successful business and social media presence that will keep you in the game forever. It's the same way that Joni built Senegence. A strong foundation with products that really work, a compensation plan that's amazing, and integrity that is unmatched. She put those things in place first, and then we started to grow organically. It just happened. And it's the same for anything in your life. So I hope that now you see that when things don't happen the way that you want them to happen, chances are it's just that you didn't have those logistic pieces in place. And guess what the great news is? You have control over it. You can fix it, change it, rearrange it, whatever you need to do. Because it means nothing about who you are as a person. These are all things outside of you that you can change, adjust, and improve. So I really hope that you guys will go out and start with number 1. Discovery, consistency, clarity, and growth. Start with number 1. Start from the beginning. Evaluate where you are. Where do you need to improve? Maybe you're there. You're a master. Then start with consistency and show up consistently. And then get really clear. Come to my niche class at seminar. Get really clear. And then you'll see the growth happen. And then guess what? When your growth starts to kind of level out, because it plateaus, it's not a straight line. We all know that. It's going to plateau. Then you go back to discovery. What are the new things that I could start implementing that I haven't used before? And then you get consistent with those new things. And then you get even more clear. You can always get even more clear and niche down on who you serve and how you do it. And it's going to change and evolve because you're a person that's always changing and evolving. And then you go back into your second phase of growth. And then you circle back around. So I'm going to give you guys back your time. I appreciate you being here and watching this. And I really hope that it helps encourage you and get you moving in social media so that your business can grow and you can serve people. Take care. Happy Valentine's Day.